So today on this episode of the FAQ, on this week's episode, what's up, y'all? On this week's episode of FAQ, I have Trey and Rachel with me, and we're here discussing us.
You know how sometimes things line up? Coincidences? Since we've been up here, they've been happening more and more. It's like there's this black cloud hanging over us.
So, as you know, Jordan Peele's Us was really trending this weekend. It's gotten a lot of buzz, and we're performing art students. So I think it would be interesting to hear what it's about based off of our perception of it going into the industry. And also we were also regular people going to the movie theater, and it was a psychological thriller, so there's just so much to talk about it. So initial thoughts following the film.
Okay, when I went to it, I immediately, my mind just immediately started paying attention to every detail and going into everything, and everything I saw from the beginning, I started thinking ahead of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it immediately made me start thinking, because of course this is Jordan Peele's movie, so
right.
that's the initial thing you want to do. But it was more than that. It was why is this woman acting so weird? What's going on? What is the story behind it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So here's all the spoilers real quick.
Yeah. So
spoilers. We have Adelaide, who's the above ground version, and Red, who's the shadow version of Adelaide, who's played by Lupita. The story starts off with her having this traumatic experience as a child. She wandered off from her parents at the beach, saw her doppelganger, couldn't speak, and I guess they went back to the beach for a family the house that she grew up in for a family vacation, and things were just lining up too perfectly, and she thought that her doppelganger was going to come back to get her. That's what you got watching it. I tried to really clear my mind when watching it, because I was I don't want to come in with any preconceived notion. And I would say we got to almost the end of the movie, I'm oh, I know what this is about. This is if you kill your demons, if you face the things you hate about yourself, you can overcome. And then it's this random switch at the end, and it really leaves you thinking, But what about you, Rachel?
Yeah.
How do you feel about
I think that was the biggest thing, was thinking the entire movie that it was one thing,
mm-hmm.
to have it switch on you at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that the person you thought was the villain really isn't the villain, and the person you thought is the hero really wasn't. It left you with that kind of, wait, so which team should I root for now?
Right.
Because you finish it off and you're so is she bad?
Right.
Because you came from somewhere, but she's also been Adelaide is the human version who has the children, who had all that experience, but she also did that, switch, which would make you think she's the bad character.
There's a lot of different theories. What was his message? What was his message? I saw a couple interesting theories. One of the theories I saw was the message was possibly how Americans, because that where Americans line. Americans came and basically lived a life that was not meant for us, because we conquered land and took things, that weren't intended for us. And then I was also thinking though, if Red, Shadow Adelaide, which is really real Adelaide, sorry. If Red did win and did kill Adelaide and get her life back above ground where she belonged, would it have been good?
Yeah.
Would that have been okay? I don't think so. I think that if real Adelaide would have won, I would have still been sad. I wouldn't have liked that. And you hear a lot of Americans talk about we need to pick ourselves up by our own bootstraps and get it. And I feel that's what that's the American way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what Adelaide did. I did what I had to do to get where I am today, and you will not take it from me.
Yeah.
My thing is, when you said that, it made me think just why didn't she just do it alone, instead of trying to get the people that obviously are not meant to be up there up there, you know? Like
Why
if
was
it was
her like grand scheme plan to like take
yeah.
over the world, basically?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's just Jordan Peele's creative genius about leaving plot holes for other movies within the Us universe. Because he's making 5 movies. And I feel like he wanted to leave obvious plot holes, like the son peeping everything the mom did.
Yeah.
That was an obvious plot hole.
Jason really was like...
was on it. And he saw everything. From the primal scream she did after she killed one of the twin sisters to the weird grunting scream she did after she killed herself. And she, I don't know, like she was more like the part of her that she hated. She hated being a shadow person. She didn't want to be like that. But she, no matter how much she tried to run from it, that's who she was.
Exactly.
And I think that could be like a key part of it too. Like there was a line that Red said to Adelaide, and she was like, "To think, if it weren't for you, I would have never danced," or something like that. And if you think about it, like if it weren't for the terrible things that happened in your life, you wouldn't be who you are today.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That's what I think. Still thinking about like the whole message behind it of like, you know, you think that whole time it's like your inner demons, and still it could still be that kind of thing, but almost like your inner demons are more like you than you thought, you know, being like switched like that, like your whole thing.
Yeah. So I guess the next question should be like, what had you the most shook in the movie? Like from a creative standpoint. Like what did you just think like off the bat, like, oh, that was wonderful, that was amazing?
So I feel like my one right now, I know there's another one, but the one thing when I went to go see it, what stood out to me and everyone in the theater, like I know this is probably us overthinking it and it's probably not supposed to be that, but when she said, he asked, what are you people? And she said, we're Americans. That shook me to the core because it's like, you think of Americans like that, like what we were saying earlier, how they just come into something and try to take it and stuff like that. So when they said that, that was like, whoa, that's kind of, you know?
Yeah.
That's what shook me right there.
Yeah, when they said we're Americans, I was like, wait, what? I mean, I didn't think too much of it till after the movie. One of the most, I think, creative things that he did was he made a movie that made you want to see it 2 times. I saw it twice. I saw it 2 days in a row. And he made a movie that I had to see it twice. And to have to see it twice and notice different things every time you see it, that's in the category with the greatest writers, like August Wilson. Every time I see Vincent, I see something new. Like with this, every time I watched Get Out, I saw something new. With, even though Get Out and Us are 2 completely different concepts, but with Us, I saw it twice and I saw something new each time. And I think that's just amazing writing in general, like to make somebody say, I have to see it again, I have to have something like, you know?
And when you say that, like the things that I saw new again, like the portraits that you saw with her father in her life when she's little, but obviously something went down. Like I feel like the mother went through something drastic after her daughter got lost, and after that, obviously your relationship is already horrible right now. It's going to just crumble down more. So I don't know, anyone can say anything happened. He could have got addicted and just left the household, or they could have split or whatever. But when I watched it again, you looked at the portraits and you really paying attention to it, and you're like, oh, her dad's not here anymore. And you never hear about her dad anymore. You hear about her grandmother, her mother. That's what they say, grandmother. That you don't hear grandfather. So that's what I noticed.
And I think part of that is like, maybe like as from a parent standpoint, like if they're, when she came back and she's not talking, if they also had this feeling of she's not right because that's not their child, you know, and they wouldn't know that or be able to like even put into words why they were feeling that way. But if that was like the cause of stress, because you would obviously not.
The biggest question I would say for me was, did she really not remember that she did all this, and like were the things like did she really suppress that memory, or was she being manipulative the whole time? You know,
Right.
were the things coming out as it went? Because like when a traumatic event happens, we can suppress memories, you know. But I don't
Yeah.
know, you know, if she suppressed it. I will say the first time around, I said it was a traumatic event, she suppressed it, right? The second time around, I will say, no, she knew the whole time based off of body language. Like when her husband, she was trying to convince him, like, they're coming for me, we have to leave now. She was sad and she was scared and she was shaking.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she turned her head, she did a little thing. And then he turned around and she was scared again. And like it's just the little things like that. Even with the flyer, like it showed Adelaide, it showed Red behind and Adelaide as the mask.
Yeah.
It wasn't the other way around. It was phony.
Mm-hmm.
The snapping off beat, that was phony. Like that should have told us right then
Right.
she was fake. Like I think that all of that was like, done on purpose.
Another
Yeah.
thing is when everyone was eating all the other stuff, like when they're at the dinner table and everyone's eating like the junk food and everything, she's the only different one eating like strawberries and stuff like that. And then I was like, maybe she does not want to eat meat because she had to eat the raw rabbits and stuff.
Oh.
So that might make her like feel sick. Like I don't want to eat anything dealing with meat because you know.
Yeah. The next question: what was your guys' favorite? Like, if you remember this,
His eyes are big and he's like just this, and like it was the same. Like we put
Yes.
them together, it's like the exact same.
But just-
And it's that like what I think makes it like really thrillery is that like getting really close to someone and seeing that like fear where like their eyes are like wide open and tears are still coming out. You know, it's not like I don't have to blink for the tears to fall. It's like that's like pure terror kind of thing. And I like how we made that for both films.
I like the part. I really like the slow camera pans each time because like each time you did that, it was really dope. What really stood out to me was the family, the other family, not the main family, the other family,
The white family?
Yeah,
what's the name's name? The white family.
I really didn't pay
Her
attention.
name was
to
like
them.
Kitty.
Kitty,
What
yeah.
were the last names? I don't remember. Oh well.
But did you notice how like they came in and killed the family, and as soon as they killed them, the camera like panned from exactly where they were standing. The exact same thing looked back up, and then they were standing exactly how they were standing before. Like everyone was standing in the same.
In the
I
same
love
place
that. I
they,
love
like
that.
took their place.
And just the
basically.
slow camera pans to like let you see every detail in what we just did.
I think I had a couple shots that I was just like, wow, that was nicely done. One of the shots when they were killing the family, they were outside the window, and it was like you're from the outside looking in on a murder. I thought that was really cool. Like, why would you do that? But it was cool.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite one was when the white, like, okay, first of all, the sound effects in this movie were like crazy. Like
Out
every
this
time
world.
somebody was bleeding, it was like.
And also
the
when she was eating
gurgle.
that strawberry, it was like a crunch. I was like, girl, what
and
the
then they like let go of the scissors and put their
Like,
hand in it. It was like
Yeah.
But my favorite angle was when the white lady was crawling towards her husband, and they were on the floor. That floor camera angle when she was just looking straight into the camera and crawling, like that was the stereotypical cheesy horror thing. But it made it fit the horror. You know what I'm saying? Like it fitted. My second favorite camera angle, or third, I'm on my third favorite now, is was Adelaide on the chalkboard looking forward straight into the
Yes.
camera, and then Red at the chalkboard and Adelaide behind her. And it was just like, wow, like you see her looking at her, like, and like, how do you do that? I mean, I'm sure it's very easy once you're in that world of filmmaking,
Right.
but to put two people, it's like they have to fight each other. Even with the little boy, he had to be scared and like fight himself, or he had to push himself into the closet and escape. Like,
Right.
they have stunt doubles for that. Who do you push?
Yes. I watched something on it, and they did have stunt doubles, and half of the time, Lupita was always saying that she had to look like a green X on the wall to like see.
when you're
So
talking to
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, and it's like you're really talking to the wall, but you're talking to yourself in reality. But I just want to say that effect, like it's so normal, but it didn't look normal. It's like Disney movies when they make like Lion King or anything animated, and like other things. It's like cheesy.
Her and her, or you know, it was like her and then her behind her.
No, but like even when they were touching each other, it was still like it didn't look. It looked so real. Like it looked
It
really
did
well.
look like they put somebody
Yeah.
in there.
And I was just like, whoa, that is really dope. Like, I love that effect.
Right.
And they played their part so well, you didn't even feel like they really were the same people, even though they had the same features.
Right.
I did not feel like that.
I think the biggest part was how well each of them did in crafting their own like shadow version of the person. And then definitely being able to tell the difference between Red and the rest of her family, and how she had like different qualities from the rest of all the like Red people. Like each one had like, it seemed the worst quality of that person. You know how she was like, the daughter is like, she gave birth to a little monster instead of like a sweet little girl, and this guy became like, the little boy was like an arson basically, instead of just like
pyromania.
Yeah. And so it was like how they crafted like each of their own, like, I am the worst thing you could see when you look at yourself in the mirror. Like, I am that now.
And it's all negative. Like, everything that happened in the shadow world was negative. Like, going into how, going off of what you said when she had her children and stuff like that, she said in the monologue, it didn't matter if she loved him or not. And that stuck out to me. It's like, so you basically got raped down there. Because you didn't love him. You had to do it because this is what she was doing up here. So you had to reflect that. And so it didn't matter if you loved Abraham or not. You had to do it with him. And have the children. And have to do all that stuff yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's just really negative and painful and dark.
You know, a question that a lot of people had was, did Adelaide make Red dance, or did Red make Adelaide dance? And I believe that Red made Adelaide dance. Because she said, I can't remember how old she said she was. She said, that's when I realized what God put me here to do. He put me here to dance. And then when Kitty was asking Adelaide above ground, like, oh, didn't you dance? And she's like, yeah, I peaked at 14. And he was like, oh, you weren't passionate about it? You were this good, but you weren't passionate about it? The one underground was the one who was passionate about dancing. That was her passion. That's what she loved to do. She even moved like a dancer. They brought in a choreographer for that fight.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
sure did. Because, like, all that, and you can tell. That's how you,
for that. I'm not saying that they don't have stage combat choreography. They brought in a dance choreographer for that fight scene. And it was beautiful. But I guess the final question being, what do you think he's going to do next? Like, what are you hoping that he does next? Or what unanswered questions do you hope he answers and whatever comes up next? What's next, Jordan Peele?
Then
I don't know. You never know with Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
But I just know that I'm most likely gonna like it because I already like Get Out. I already love this movie. It's like when an artist, when you listen to their music, you already know, oh, whatever you come out with next, oh, I'm gonna love it. That's how I am with him. And I've never met a director or saw a film that I'm like that with. So like I'm really excited. Other than the Conjuring universe and Insidious stuff,
yeah,
like
that's too much for me.
I love those directors, but this is. Yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know what he's gonna come out with next, but I just want it to shake the table, and I don't know.
I know. That's what I think. Like, if he did something in the Us universe, I think I would just want to know more of what Adelaide's plan going forward is, because she's not the one who made the plan for like the Hands Across America thing. So like, how are they gonna deal with that now?
And it didn't come above ground with them.
And she is like technically one of them, so could she like go on to lead them and be like, I'm like now like the person of both worlds kind of thing. But other than that, I think just like he's just always gonna make movies that have to do with looking at almost like looking at yourself a different way.
I was never ever a fan of horror movies growing up, or thrillers or anything. With the moment that I saw a horror movie with just people who look like me in it, was the moment I was like, oh, I can do this, and actually I would be really good at it. But I just never pictured it.
You know?
They handled it like actual black people would handle it. And when he was like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna handle it.
Yes.
And he was like, okay, call the police.
I love that he came out and he was like,
Exactly.
hey, can you please leave, whatever, and then he was like, all right.
I done told y'all, get off my
property, okay? And like, I feel that because you never see black people in a film like this, especially the main person. They always the first one to get killed off, or they always the hero. And I love that. And I love like I love this. I don't know if Jordan thought of this, but when she was like, little girl, run, and the girl ran, the bitch didn't fall. She kept going. Like, she had some stupid moments, but the bitch did not fall.
Yeah, when they always have that, like, stumbling out the door. No, she said, track and field.
Right.
Like,
and I love, like, what you just said. Everything a black person would do, everything people say on Twitter, like, oh, if we was in a black people in horror film, it's a rap, pow, pow. Like, that all.
They did all that. They were relentless. They fought. They never, hesitated, but we know why they hesitated now, because she wasn't really who she said she was. But I think the next thing I'm looking forward to, I think that he really set it up at the end when Adelaide was driving and she was having a flashback, and they showed how it really happened, and she looked over at her son and he was staring at her. I think he set that up for something to go on with her son, because now he realizes that this thing that he was terrified of is part of it. Because her son is on that. He heard her scream, he did all this stuff, and so he put this mask on, and I don't know if it meant like I'm hiding behind this mask because I'm scared of you, or I'm hiding behind this mask to protect myself, or I'm hiding behind this mask because I've accepted who I am, and now let's get it. You know?
And it kind of like,
but he knows something that nobody else knows, and he's gonna do. I feel like he's gonna do something.
Yeah, because they made a clear something about their relationship. Because like she was protective of both her children, but she was especially protective of Jason.
Like not Jason.
Like anytime she would go looking for Jason first, and he was the one who seemed perceptive from the beginning.
Right.
Like, you know, was there like your brother's weird, you know, like that kind of stuff, which made you think of like when they like in movies when they have like an autistic kid or something like that, where they're like something about them that makes them special, that makes them like almost closed off to the world because they're perceiving something differently. And I wonder if he has something to do with like maybe because he was born from someone who was down there, like if he has some sort of traits that mimic the like weird, you know, almost like mix of the two that make him.
He was able to control his tethered person a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes me go off of your question, because I never answered the question I wanted to ask Jordan. I want to know, why did the little boy at the beach say he was building a tunnel? Why? Like, the whole movie revolved around tunnels. Remember when he was at the beach and they were like, what are you building? He was like, it's just a tunnel. And then,
you know, like if he was more like linked into his person, so if like without even knowing it, him and his person were more tethered than the other.
There was a theory that the sun got switched out, but I don't believe that theory because he would have to relearn to talk.
Yeah, and all that.
But there was a theory that at one point the sun got switched out somewhere along the way. I don't know.
That's like
a reach.
Yeah.
A stretch.
But like how he took down his mask reminded me of how the like red her and her son, how like they were so connected, and he would like lift it and she would say something and he would like put it back down. So they had that like moment of like looking at him and he put his mask back down, just like they had a moment earlier in the movie of like two of them. So it's like,
yeah.
But I guess like in conclusion, Jordan Peele's just a genius. He knows what he's doing. I'm probably gonna I'm going to buy this movie when it comes out on DVD.
Just to watch it 1,000 times.
I'm gonna support everything he does moving on. And shoot, he got 3 more movies for sure coming out, so I still got time to get in one of them.
Okay, look, I will be an extra. I just want to be a part of it, the process, you know.
Right.
Like,
I'll be your personal assistant on the side.
Anything.
Right, anything.
I'll be the crazy dancer.
But yeah, this concludes this episode of FAQ, and this was just a review of us by Performing Arts Studio.